Hi guys, in our previous class we discussed about the importance of cell, what cell do in the given circuit. So how electrons move in the circuit. So when we switch on the circuit, electrons starts to move within the circuit. So to move electron we need some energy source. So here the cell will act as an energy source. So we define potential difference. So according to potential difference, the formula we can write potential difference V equal to work done per charge. So its units are volt. So today's class we will learn certain symbols. So this is the following network is representing it here. Suppose every time to draw the circuit, it is difficult to draw like this, just like bulb as it is original structure and a cell as it is its original diagram and a switch. So we will use in circuit instead of these components symbols. Suppose here I am having options. Here you can see the entire the shape and the components are changed right now. So if I switch to the original components, now the cell is looks like as exactly what we see. And similarly the connecting wires and switch and bulb. And if I switch to a circuit mode, so instead of cell at here we got a symbol. So this is the symbol for cell. It is representing two lines, one is short, one is long. So the long line will give for positive and short line give for negative. And here this is symbol for switch. And in this case the switch is open. So when switch is open, we will represent that as just like this kind of symbol. And when switch is closed, now here you can see the circuit is on. Now the electrons are moving in the circuit. So today we will learn certain circuit symbols so that in the coming circuit diagrams it is easy to draw. So all the circuit diagrams we will represent the components in terms of symbols, not just like the original component itself. Let's see some circuit symbols. Let's define an electric circuit. Electric circuit is a continuous and closed path of an electric current. A circuit means it's a closed path of an electric current. A schematic diagram of electric circuit which contains a cell, an electric bulb, ammeter or different components. So here schematic diagram means the circuit wire is drawn on the screen. So this is the diagrammatic representations. So here you are seeing one is cell, this is cell representation, and this symbol goes for bulb, and this is ammeter. Ammeter is instrument to measure the amount of current in the given circuit, and this is a plug key, or in different words we can call this as switch. So to draw an electric circuit we should know these symbols first. So let us see one by one. So to construct an electric circuit, first of all we need a conducting wires or connecting wires. So these wires we just represent just like a line. So this represents wire connections in the circuit. We don't use any special kind of symbol for that. So wires are used in the circuit that is represented with just a straight line. And the next, sometimes we need to use switch. So here two types of switches you can see. So this here you can see one small hole and this has to put in the small hole. Then it looks like this. Now we can say this is open switch and this is closed switch. Switch is closed, between the contact, between the gap is filled with that key. So this is also called as key, open key. So one more, here you can see this is also switch. Here you can see, notice a noticeable gap here, you can see that. So this is also we can call as tapped key. This is an old type switches. When you press on the top, when you press it here on the top, then they both comes to contact, then the circuit will be on. But this is very easy to use. Right now what we are using in the electrical appliance, just on and off. So this is a modern switch, but in the laboratory we will use these kind of switches. Now the switch symbol, I will show that. First let us go for components. After the switch, sometimes we need to connect wires, just like joint. So this is how we join more than 2 wires. But in the symbols, when it comes to symbol, we representing wire as a straight line, here what is on. And when it comes to joint, here the joint can represent with a just dot. It means at here, so these two are joined. So if 2 wires are supposed to join, so this is one wire and this is another wire, so these 2 are supposed to join. So these 2 you can put a dot, a big dot right at there. I can use different color to highlight the dot. So this is representing a joined wire. And sometimes the wires should not join, but they will cross each other. When they cross each other, so let me take this case. Suppose one wire in the circuit is going in this way and another wire circuit in the going in this way. So but they both are not joined. If they join, we need to put at here a big dot. But they do not join. But in the circuit diagrams, we need to represent them. If they do not join, we should draw very carefully. So that is the one line, which is one wire which is coming up. So which is going the parallel line, we can make a bump at there. So this represents the 2 wires are not joined. At here, the wires not joined. So if wires are joined, we can represent between the 2 junctions a big dot. So that is symbol for wires are joined. If wires are not joined, we have to just cross the wire with a bump. So while you are drawing circuit diagrams, be careful how the wires are joined and wires are not joined. And coming to very important component in the circuit, that is cell or battery. Cell is having 2 terminals, one is positive and one is negative. In the symbol, the big line gives positive terminal, means this is positive terminal of the cell, and the small line which is short, that gives the negative terminal of the cell. A combination of cells is known as battery. Battery is a combination of cells. So here the cells, how we represented is in the circuit. So that cells has to be combined. So here you can see the battery symbol contains more than one cell. So first we draw positive terminal of a cell, with a gap we draw negative terminal. Again we draw a long terminal, again this goes for the positive and this goes for the negative. So this is negative. Here there should be one joint, one connection should be there. Yeah, like this. Now this symbol is goes for the battery. So we need to repeat the cell symbol twice or thrice, depends upon the size of the battery. If you repeat the same cell symbol twice or thrice, then that symbol gives the symbol for battery. Now let's see. Yeah, sometimes in the circuit we need to measure potential difference. So to measure the potential difference we use voltmeter. So voltmeter looks like this in the laboratory voltmeter. So but in the circuit symbol we represent that as V with a circle with two terminals. And here we need to mind the polarities also. Polarities means if it is a positive sign and negative sign. So voltmeter contains positive and voltmeter contains negative. Okay, so we use voltmeter symbol as V. Similarly, we use ammeter. Voltmeter measures potential difference, ammeter measures current. So ammeter we represent with a capital A with a circle on it, and it is also having terminals plus and minus. So this is the laboratory ammeter. Ammeter is used to measure the current in the given circuit. So let's see all symbols one by one. The first one is on my left side, it's a cell, electric cell, and a combination of cells is known as battery. And second one, plug, key or switch. Now here switch when it comes, once if it is off we call as open. Now right now if switch is off means open. How do we recognize? So in the symbol there won't be any dot, only difference is that dot difference is at here. If plug key with dot, then that is for closed, circuit is closed. Sometimes instead of using plug key we can use directly switch. So the down which is represented as switch symbol, this is for switch symbol and this is for plug key symbol, both uses same, and this is represents for off, and here you can see now exactly if you can connect the two dots it's on. Yeah, try to notice the difference. Now the next one is electric bulb. So to represent electric bulb we don't draw the bulb diagram as it is, so we can represent just like a filament diagram. So this is electric bulb filament. So it's the same thing. Here I am introducing a new character, its name known as resistor. For a moment you take this symbol as a granted. I will make you understand in the coming concepts what is resistance and what are those things. Right now I am not discussing anything about, but I am trying to make you understand the resistor symbol. We need to study much more about resistors. Okay, so this is symbol for resistor. And next, in the electric circuits sometimes the resistance has to be changed, or that is also called variable resistor. Just like fan regulator, how regulator controls the speed of the fan, here variable resistance, the resistance can be changed. So that variable resistance symbol we use same resistance symbol and along with a crossed arrow mark. So this is symbol for variable resistance. So this is a new character for us. For a moment, you take this character as granted. I will make you understand that in the coming classes. And next one, ammeter. Ammeter represented with capital A with polarities plus and minus, and voltmeter. Voltmeter also represented with capital V with polarities. Polarities means signs, positive terminal and negative terminal. And finally, a wire with joint. So at joint, we need to represent that with a big dot at the junction. So here one wire, I can call this as A, and this is another wire that I can call B. So A and B are joined at this junction. Yeah, that is representing with a dot. But when wires are not joined, but wires are crossover, while they are crossover, we represent that just one wire and another wire is just jumping. We can jump that another wire. So that is the circuit symbol for when wires are crossing. So these all symbols you need to learn. And whenever a proper circuit diagram is to be drawn, you need to pick up these symbols instead of that components. Suppose you need to draw a circuit diagram which contains a cell, a key, and an voltmeter, and an electric bulb. So here we need to pick up the corresponding circuit diagrams, and we will arrange them in the circuit. So that is the representation of the electric circuit. So go through your textbook, and in that the corresponding symbols tabular form is given. So try to practice these symbols more carefully. So whenever the situation comes, we make use these symbols to draw an electric circuit.